Am I a Nikki fan? Pull up in that Sri Lanka. What? Spent 2.5 weeks in the country traveling all around. So this is what I got up to. So my first day arriving, I decided to head to Unawatuna, and while I was on the way there, I stopped in Galle. I stopped in the south first. Unawatuna is a cute little beach town. I tried my first Sri Lankan meals. There's a lot of curries here, which I really loved. And there was also a lot of cute cafes. With all of the Instagram cafes and Instagram influencers moving here, it is starting to feel a little bit like Bali and also getting kind of expensive. I still really enjoyed my time here, but I wonder how it would be if I came back in 5 years if the problem gets worse. And did you know the main religion in Sri Lanka is Buddhism? So there was a lot of cool temples while I was here. There was also some really beautiful beaches, and the locals were really nice. I didn't really experience anyone like catcalling me. Everyone was super helpful, but English wasn't like as proficient as in the other countries that I went to. Then I went to Marissa, and this ended up being my favorite town in the whole country. Just the beaches were so beautiful and the vibes were just hitting while I was there. I also stayed at a really nice hostel. It was called Satori Beach Hostel, and I also did like a whale watching tour in the morning, and I did get lucky. I saw 2 whales. I also saw a bunch of dolphins, and they did give us some food and some snacks, so it was a good experience.
And these are most common dolphins we find. Take the picture.
Then I continued along the southern coast, and I went to Harikatiya, and this was honestly my least favorite town that I visited while I was in Sri Lanka. I don't know, the vibes just like weren't there. It's like a small little beach town. Maybe it's just like I didn't really stay in the best area of it, but I just feel like there wasn't really any like restaurants or anything to do. The whole reason that I stayed there is because it was my pickup location for me to then go to Yala National Park, and then they were going to drop me off at my accommodation in Ella all on the same day. So I just stayed there for one night, and then I went to Yala National Park, and there's only 25 leopards in the park, and I got lucky and I actually ended up seeing one, and I saw a bunch of other stuff like a crocodile right there, and then elephants, like a mama and a baby that walked right by us. I also saw antelope, deer, peacocks, so much stuff. Hi guys, so I'm currently in Ella. So I just went through like this tunnel, which was the 9 Arches Bridge, which is like the most famous thing to do, honestly, in like probably all of Sri Lanka. And I kind of put myself in a bad mood. I'm like, damn, I could have gotten like such cute Instagram pictures, but like I don't trust anyone to like get good pictures of me. And I'm like, I kind of like don't want to be traveling solo anymore. It's just like very lonely. But I am going to India next week with the group, so I'm excited for that. But I'm also like, I feel like I'm gonna be drained by the end of that week because like I'm also drained by being in groups. I just like don't know how to communicate with people or like feel like I can be myself, and I feel like people kind of like misinterpret how I'm trying to come across. Like when I was volunteering with World Packers in Borneo like a week ago, you know, I don't always feel like I need to necessarily respond to something. Like I probably should, but I'll just be like to like show that I'm listening. And my host would explain themselves like 4 times, and I'm like, no, like I understand what you're saying. So I think people might think like I'm shy, and like because I'm not saying anything, like I'm stupid and I'm not understanding them or something, or that like I'm being rude. But I'm just like, no, like I just don't know how to respond. I'm just like really bad in like social situations. But the girl that I was volunteering with in Borneo, she like understood my vibes, so it was great. She was like, oh, I went to this like mystical like mermaid themed bar. She's like, oh, you would have loved it there. I'm like, you understand my vibes, thank you. Now I'm just like walking along the train tracks. Honestly, I don't really have a whole lot planned for while I'm here in Ella. I literally leave tomorrow and I like take the train to New Orleans and then I take the train to Candy the next day.
The random poses I'm doing are sending me because I was gonna like take a video and screenshot them so I could get Instagram pictures, and none of them are good. I don't want 'em anyway, girl, take 'em. That's me dancing to Tate McRae. And then I also tried buffalo curd while I was here, and it was disgusting. It was sour. Then I also took a cooking class where I learned how to make 6 different types of curries. There was like pumpkin curry, dal. I mainly wanted to just like take the class for those, and we also got to keep the recipes, so I'm definitely excited to go make them at home. Then I took the train to Nuara Elia, and I only spent one night there, and I literally did nothing there because it rained the whole time that I was there, and it was really cold. It was like 50 degrees, while everywhere else it was like 80. And then I took another train to Candy, and honestly, I'm the only person that will say this, but like the train to Candy and Ella, like vice versa, whichever way you take it, I think it's honestly kind of overrated. Those are a bunch of bats flying in the air, and they're Indian bats, and they were huge. The next day, I hired a private driver because I wanted to go to Sigiriya, which is like known for this famous rock. So first I went to a cafe and I had lunch and I had a viewpoint of the rock, and then I climbed almost all the way up it, and I got scared of heights, so I decided to not fully go all the way up. And then I went to Dambula, which was on the way back, and I went to this cave temple. And then I went to this cool, I believe now closed hotel that was called Helga's Folly. And it was so whimsical. There were so many paintings everywhere and so much cool interior design. And this is what I want my house to look like. So honestly, I was like obsessed with this place. I spent like 2 hours here, but I think other people would probably think it's kind of boring. Who the fuck did the monkey's hair? Look at the bangs. Took another train. Honestly, train's the best way to get around the country because the buses, like the bus drivers drive insane. They don't really make stops because they need to make as much money as possible. So it's not very safe. So I would definitely recommend taking the trains. They're honestly not that much more expensive. And my final stop was Colombo, the capital city, which is also kind of where near the airport is. Spent 2 days there just because I wanted to relax before the chaos of India. So I did a free walking tour on the first day, and I actually made a friend, which was exciting. We found Chili's, so I had her like try an American meal. It was funny. And then the second day, I was prepping for India, so I got acrylic nails for the first time, and I got my eyebrows done. And honestly, like a lot of people hate on Colombo. I thought it was actually like kind of a nice city. It just depends on what district you're in. But anyways, this is the end of my video. This was the end of my 2.5 weeks in Sri Lanka. I don't know if I would go back because like I said, it's gonna probably become Bali. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. I definitely enjoyed my time here. Bye.